Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line. For inquiring about the price of this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform, please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today we are discussing a 250-piece limited edition launched at Baselworld 2016. This is the Blancpain 50 Fathoms Bathyscaphe Chronograph Ocean Commitment 2, the second in the Maritime Charity Benefit Ocean Commitment series. It features a blue ceramic case, a gray ceramic bezel, and it is the 50 Fathoms Bathyscaphe Flyback chronograph model. Now the timepiece is 43 millimeters in diameter, and it measures 15.3 millimeters thick by 49.4 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, with a 23 millimeter spacing between the lugs. It is very light. As a result of being mostly sapphire and ceramic, not only is it superb in its scratch resistance, but it is a very lightweight watch, feeling about as heavy as a 40 millimeter steel watch. Now when I throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see it fits well. It's large, but it's not huge, and it's considerably smaller than the conventional 50 Fathoms Flyback chronograph. The watch features a low enough stance on the wrist that it'll fit underneath jacket cuffs, though not the tightest of dress sleeves. And across the wrist, you can see it's narrow enough that I can recommend it for a wrist as small as 15 centimeters in circumference. It's a good-looking watch that wears well. It features the 50 Fathoms signature sailcloth strap, which is thickly bolstered. It's a blue textile, almost completely impervious to tearing and ripping. These straps have been known to last up to a decade. We have a monotone stitch, a folded edge, and then we have a wonderful natural vulcanized rubber on the bottom to buffer the boundary between the textile and your skin to keep you comfortable. And you can see this is a brand new Blancpain factory strap, no crimping, no gouging. Swatch Group goes all the way with its ceramic watches, and so we have a buckle that is made of ceramic, both the buckle and the pin, scratch resistant, as the case is scratch resistant. This is where most companies are just going to give you some sort of PVD piece of metal, but Swatch Group is able to render buckles and pin buckles in ceramic to match the case. Now you can see the Bathyscaphe is modeled after the 50 Fathoms watches of the 50s, rather than later models. The 5015 is very modern. It's got stepped out lugs, full polish, it's got crown guards. Here we have a big crown no guard profile with pump style pushers, a thin vertical case band, squared off lugs with minimal beveling, so there's not a whole lot of elaboration here. It's designed to have more of a vintage look to it, and it does. Now you can see there is some finishing here, as we have satination on the case band and the lug hoods, as well as a polished bevel, and you'll note that the satin on the lug hoods, if I can show it, it's a circular satin rather than a linear brushed pattern like the side. The bezel is a polished ceramic insert with metal co-molded into the ceramic. That's called liquid metal. And then we have a base that is gray ceramic. We have a positive 120 click ratcheting action, and you can line up the bezel pearl with the minute hand for a quick 0 to 60 minute count up timer. We'll demonstrate the lume right here. There is plenty of lume, including the bezel pearl. The watch does feature an interesting hybrid baton syringe style hand, and you can appreciate that the dial is a metallic sunburst in anthracite, so metallic brushed sunburst with a sunburst grain radiating out from the center. The indices are applied, the hands are black polished, and you can see there are sunken registers for chronograph minutes and chronograph hours. We also have a lollipop style constant seconds hand. The watch includes a hacking function, which you can see well here, and then it also includes a quick set date function, so you can rapidly cycle the date. The watch is a flyback chronograph, so you can reset and restart with a single push of the reset trigger. You can also stop and restart and operate it conventionally, but it is a flyback chronograph. And you can see we have a custom rotor here, Ocean Commitment, nickel anthracite like the dial, with a combination of media blasting, surface satination, and then beveling on the edges. The watch is individually numbered, as you can see, out of 250. This is number 58, and we have 300-meter water resistance, caliber F385, actually debuted on the Bathyscaphe Chrono back in 2013. Automatic winding with a 50-hour power reserve. It has an El Primero-like 36,000 vibration per hour beat rate. The flyback complication, it has a 37 joule pivot set. It is adjusted in 6 positions, one more than the chronometer standard of 5, and it has a full balance bridge with a free-sprung index for shock tolerance. It also has an anti-magnetic silicone hairspring for bracing against magnets. It has a column wheel vertical clutch combination, so you can see the column wheel. You can also feel it and hear it. It's a very positive action. And thanks to the vertical clutch, you can start the chronograph without any jump or stagger to the seconds hand, and then just leave it running continuously. So there's no additional wear and tear if you leave a vertical clutch chrono running. You can also see that it's nicely finished. While some of the spaces inside the bridges, like over the chronograph driving wheel, are industrially finished, the edges of the bridges, the exterior edges of the bridges, are beautifully rounded and polished. That is a high quality anglage, likely started by a machine and then finished with some sort of a drill tip buffer by an artisan who just runs over these all day and creates that lovely mirrored bevel. There's a deeply grained satin finish across the bridges, which is a nice modern alternative to Côte de Genève. You can see the screw heads are black polished with chamfered slots in circumference. Then there's engine turning on the base plate and satination on the wheels. You can also see that chronograph driving wheel has a patterning, a spoke pattern that's a lot like the wheels of the Lamborghini Aventador, and that is deliberate, a reference to the long-running association between Blancpain, Lamborghini, and production-based GT auto racing. So there is a lot to love here. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.